So this is another portion in our PD where we are going to take the time to make sure all teachers know the procedural steps to making this happen, to implementing the technology. So each slide will progress slowly, and we will make sure that everyone is on the same pace and feels comfortable with that slide at that particular moment. So we need to create a class in Khan Academy. So let's get started. It has different helps. Again, the teachers are getting a physical copy of this information as well as an electronic copy. We're going to build a class with an account. Once we have an account, then we can go ahead and find some activities. The accounts that you can set up, you can use Google Classroom, or you can create your own using student emails, or you could create your own classroom and then pass out usernames and passwords. That was my favorite at the moment, but some of you are very tech savvy and you like the Google Classroom. You can just import your classroom and it can be a swift process for you there. Now we're going to look at the steps on finding an activity. You will click on the grade level. You'll click on a topic. If you need to, you can actually search for a keyword there. There's many different choices of topics and activities. You can watch a video, you can practice problems, you can work on a graphic organizer. Here is an example of the Khan Academy practice session. And see how in the lower right hand corner you see there's a section where they click on the enter and they check to see if they are correct. Their progress is displayed so students immediately know how many questions they have gotten correct and how many they have gotten incorrect. It is suggested that if you get 3 problems incorrect, then go back and watch a video or use a tutorial to try to increase your understanding before struggling through the practice problems again. This would also be a good time if you've gotten 3 incorrect to ask a teacher for some help. This is a very important slide. Let's say that your school does not support the STAR diagnostic test and it's not available for you to use. Khan Academy still supports 2 different options to help you build your understanding of student learning. They can have a diagnostic test and they call it a mission. This test only looks at the current grade level that you choose for the students, and they look at the skills that they need to master on that level. The advantage to the STAR test, however, is that it can look at multiple grade levels at one time and really focus in on where the students are having misconceptions, whether it be on the current grade level or in grade levels prior to this year. Another option that Khan Academy offers is that you can look at the classes, and that will lead students to the Engage in Why modules, and you could just build their learning through online modules if you desire as well. Once students log in, the Khan Academy will keep track of their progress underneath the student activity. You can go to student progress and click on their name, and you will see an activity chart, and you will be able to look at the choices that students have been making with their technology. And based upon their choices, you can build a teacher rubric that will encourage more positive choices throughout the year. You will also be able to see their success. Have they been able to master content? Have they been able to look at the helps and be able to make sense of the helps and that sort of thing? So you see on this progress section, these charts, the chart on the left, this student chose to watch videos for the majority of the project time, the 3 to 4 weeks. They only logged in very minimally. They did earn a badge for watching an entire section of the videos. That's a small badge. Khan Academy awards many different badges. The student on the right, however, they logged in the 3 to 4 required times, but then they also logged in additional times throughout that project. That means the student took ownership of their learning and wanted to progress through the sections. In addition, I noticed that this student did not take advantage of the videos. They went right to the practice problems and they got started immediately on their learning the content and how to walk through the different calculations for their project. So students have 2 very different choices. Here is the sample rubric that I made that I shared with our teachers at the PD. It shows certain energy point values. Students like the energy points because then they relates to their avatar in Khan Academy. But that also gives them a point value so that they can look at a grade on a project. Then I give them bonus points for the badges they earned, as well as content they mastered, and things like that. Is given out at the end of every project, so then students see how their choices have affected their grade and then how they can make more positive choices in the next project. For the rest of our time together, I let teachers ask questions and we gave answers and helped them build the different procedures that they needed that they were still unsure of. And then I also provided physical evidence where this was working effectively in the classroom.
Okay, now let's take a look at some of the charts that the STAR test can show you, some interesting facts. So this is a growth report. We can look at each individual student, check out their test dates, and see what their scaled score was, what kind of change they made, and their grade level equivalent. So we can highlight the scores that we are interested in looking at specifically, whether we're looking at those that are low or we're showing the growth, whatever we're interested in. Okay, looks like we can see percentile ranges as well on this growth report. So at the top, I decided to check out for this particular middle of the year evaluation. I'm looking at students that are showing more than half of a grade level growth and those that are less. And then so those that are less than half a grade level growth, then those are going to be my focused students. I'm going to focus in on them and really try to work with them over this next semester. Another report is called the Student Progress Monitoring Report. So when students have multiple STAR tests, then on this test that they actually graph the results. So on this graph you can see how the student is progressing. It looks like we had a little bit of a backslide down in December, but overall I'm eager to see the growth in this student. I'm expecting that the next STAR test will show more towards the October score. At least that's my hopes. There are other charts as well where you might even just see if a student had a bad day or something of that nature. Looks like on this student that's what happened. Maybe because the test was close to Christmas and the student was not as inspired to work to their fullest potential, but it looks like that the test in December for a few of these students are dropping, but overall we're showing some good progress. So as you can see, this is the first project that was created, and these students are on the 8th grade level. So we move to September. Their scores are moving up just a little bit. They're still working on, this particular group is still working on the 8th grade level. Looks like we're starting to have 3 or 4 to move to higher levels. And we see that progression also when you look at now September, October. This is now going into November work. Notice that their STAR test is showing that they are looking to have algebra level skills. So congratulations on this small group of students that they were able to progress to where now they're being enriched more so than they are being retaught. So kudos to these students.
Concludes the professional development on using STAR test data to differentiate instruction using Khan Academy. I want to acknowledge all the different sources of information that I pulled together in order to make this PD possible. Thank you, and I appreciate you watching.